Hello everyone, welcome to Outlaw Reviews. This is Bandit, and today I decided to go ahead and do a little MK timeline, because honestly this game has been in my life since 1992. When I walked in the arcade and I first saw Mortal Kombat 1, I was hooked. I played nothing but Sub-Zero and Liu Kang and had so much fun in the arcades. Didn't really have too many friends back then, but you know, that was alright. I made up for it later. Now, when Mortal Kombat 2 came out, like I said, everything changed. I mean, my friend Mitchell first introduced me to Mortal Kombat, and I immediately sold my Nintendo, all of my games, about 84 of them, and picked up a Sega Genesis. It came with Sonic, and I bought Mortal Kombat 2 and the 6-button controller. So, I immediately started practicing. I got really good at MK2, not so well at Super Street Fighter 2. That's where I put most of my time. And then in 1996, MK3 came out, and really everything changed. It went from, you know, just playing your friends that would come over to the X-Band system. And the X-Band system is a genius for their time for making that. Yeah, I don't think I want Raiden to win this one. But yeah, X-Band came out. It was like a modem that connected to your Genesis and would put you online against other players all over the United States. It was $14.99 a month, unless you wanted to have unlimited long distance and play everyone all over the country. That was $49.99 a month. You know, it's basically, it was well worth every penny at that time. The only problem was whenever your house phone would ring, you know, you would have to tell everyone not to answer the phone because it would be your game opponent. And luckily there was a caller ID on there. There was X-Band parties. There were people all over Georgia here that would come to these parties from other states, and I am proud to say that from when Mortal Kombat 3 made it online on the Xbox, on the X-Band, when it went live to the point where X-Band went out of business and shut down their servers, the two top people were from Georgia. I was number 2, and the Master John is rated number 1. He was number 1 back then. I still have the clips, newspaper, and tips and tricks whenever they used to post the X-Band stats back then. And, you know, it was wonderful to just get online, and everybody knew that Georgia ruled MK3 on the X-Band for the Sega Genesis. I mean, there was no touching us. And then it spawned into more than just me and John. My friend Mitchell, he became really good, and as well, and started beating some of the top people on the top 10 list. A guy named Jason, no need for a name. All these people you meet in real life, and you know, you see the faces of the people that you're playing. It's really awesome. For back then, I mean, computers were running on dial-up. It wasn't even really, you know, it was amazing. I was glad it was during my time. Let me finish this guy real quick. Maybe not. There we go. So, yeah, we had players from New York. The unknown Triple X. Very nice person. He didn't like to lose very much. He'd punch his bed post and the floor and break a few controllers, but he was respectful over the phone. You know, me and the Master John, the great thing about being the two best in the country at something is that we lived less than an hour away from one another. On the weekends, you know, when school was out, we would sit there and play and play and play. We would learn so many different styles and techniques and we got so much better playing each other because, you know, it's, you know, someone of equal caliber. I mean, he was better than me. His record was better, but I'm not a big fan of records, as people know. You know, but record states that, you know, he was better than me, and he was damn good. And I still, to this day, agree that he had way more of an aggressive fighting style than me, and it worked off big time. We were the ones that started with the run-up, punch, 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 you know, and then whenever you let go of block, knee uppercut, you know, I mean, it just, stuff like that. We played around with. We studied it. We studied every part of it. It was our lives at that point, you know. We had our school, and then we had Mortal Kombat, you know, and I mean, it was a science to us, and we were the chemists. I mean, we were the ones that taught so many people how to play, you know, Mortal Kombat 3. People in Carrollton, Georgia, a lady by the name of Michelle and her brother Brian were intermittent players, and from playing me and John, Michelle, the older one of the two, actually made it on the top 10 list of in the world. So, you know, it's pretty amazing how, you know, all of us would get together in places, and you don't know what the other person looks like, but then you finally meet this person, and this group of people. It's just an amazing experience. MK3 on the X Band was some of the best gaming experience I've ever had. And it was the fun factor. It wasn't the fact that I was winning. The matches were close, especially with, you know, like the people I was telling you that would play us all the time. They would get better. They would make their stand on the top 10, you know, for a little while until they got beat by somebody. But, you know, in the end, Georgia ruled MK3. Okay, it didn't have Killer Instinct. That was Arizona. It didn't have Street Fighter. That was Cali and Chicago. You know, but MK2 and MK3 was the GA. I mean, we were it, the elite. So I remember a few things since I'm looking at Jax right now. Me and the Master John would always surprise each other with stuff every once in a while that we would think of off the top of our head. And so one day, John calls me and says, "Dude, you got to come over here. I got to show you something." So I'm like, all right, you know, get a ride over there. And I walk in and he hands me the controller. And I'm Cabal. I'm like, sweet, you know, I like playing as Cabal. What do you got to show me? He picked Jax. And I was like, wait a minute, how the hell is that going to help you? And he just smiled. So we started the match. And I wouldn't believe it, but he started doing the missile trap that can be done on Cabal because he's just too slow. And, you know, he's too slow to get out of it, you know, double fireball, single fireball, double fireball, you know, and then, you know, I mean, but yeah, see, we even videotaped our matches of Street Fighter EX Alpha 2 and Mortal Kombat Trilogy. You know, we taped hours of gameplay. Unfortunately, he lost the tape, so they were taken. I don't remember, but that would have been worth putting on YouTube. You see these tournaments, and you watch their fights. This is nothing. This was nothing like that. This was two people that had the entire Mortal Kombat book in their head. I mean, it was way better than these tournaments that I've seen. You know, where they just pick two people and win a whole tournament for $10,000. It's like, well, hell, back then I could play every character, you know, and I could play them flawlessly and never lose, you know, and it was just great how we could come up with, you know, it's like run up tap punches. You can't do that in this game. There's no run button, you know, and, you know, into throws, you know, we were throw masters. The Master John was the best. I'm not a fan of throws, as y'all know, but back then, throws were a part of a very strong arsenal, and he was the best at it. You could be blocking a throw, and he'd throw you anyways. I swear to you not. He would be able to get around it somehow, you know. And you know, it was the best fights I've ever had, ever, including this game or any other fighting game. You know, MK3, Ultimate MK3, MK Trilogy. I mean, those were the days. I mean, I'll tell you a little bit more about the Master John. Because in 1997, Mortal Kombat 4 was on a rampage. I did not like MK4, and I catch hell from that from John and other viewers because they say it's a genuinely good game. I hated the idea you had to press run twice to sidestep. You know, you should be able to press down, down, or something like that, not something really, really crazy like run twice. But, so yeah, the Master John enters the Mortal Kombat 4 tournament in Chicago in 1997, December. Folks, the guy was playing on a past updated version. The one in Chicago was updated where the jump punch combos actually worked, and you know, the stuff in Georgia, the game in Georgia hadn't even been fully updated. He walks in before the tournament, alright, and beats Paulo Garcia and Eddie Ferrier and like it's no problem. He beat them so bad that after he finished fighting and walked away to go get some pizza, one guy came up to him and said, "Dude, do you know who you just beat?" Master John says no. He doesn't really care who it is. "Oh man, that was Paulo Garcia and Eddie Ferrier. Blah, 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 blah. They're pissed off." Well, John didn't win the MK tournament, but I'd be damned if he, you know, if you beat somebody 10, 15 times and they beat you twice, who's the better player? I mean, really. And that's what happened. He just lost. He lost during the tournament rounds instead of the before and afters, which I thought really sucked. But you know, very awesome. Got his name is in the Mortal Kombat Bible Collector's Edition. The Master John, Decatur, Georgia. And I was about 40 minutes away in Chambly, Georgia. I currently reside in South Georgia. It's really, really nice here. A lot of good people. Wouldn't move anywhere. But I wasn't a fan of MK4. I mean, I actually turned to the dark side and went to Tekken and Street Fighter for those years. I hated MK4 that much. You know, but what can I say, you know? I didn't play it, so therefore I wasn't good at it. I didn't like the mechanics. I didn't like the way it felt. You know, it had MK2 in it, but that double tap crap and sidestepping, I guess my mind just wasn't ready for it yet. Plus the graphics, they wasn't ready for it yet either. Alright, between 2006 and 2007, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 finally comes out on the Xbox 360. I am like a kid in a toy store at that point. I immediately go and buy a Xbox 360. Okay, and it's pretty bad that I went out to get a 360 for a game as, you know, 16-bit as Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, and I'll buy it again when it comes out in the collector's edition this August. You better believe it. And I already have MK2 on here, but that doesn't matter. Alright, so golly, Smoke's not happy with me, is he? I'm just jumping around killing time. I really hope you guys are enjoying any of this. This is a lot of my past. It's who I am. It's like I stayed out of trouble because of Mortal Kombat. You know, a lot of my other friends went to jail. A lot of my friends started drugs. I did not. I mean, I took in gaming as an outlet, you know, instead of vandalizing and, you know, doing stupid things that my friends are still in jail for this day. You know, hanging around the wrong people. All of a sudden, you're in for accessory to murder, and you didn't do anything. You just woke up in a car that next morning. Get for taking all those drugs and falling asleep in a freaking car with a bunch of killers. So, you know, while I'm inside playing my video games, I'm safe. My parents, they're alright, because it's stimulating my mind. That was a nice combo. I'm not even holding block, guys. But yeah, when Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 came out on the 360, I was so freaking happy. I was more than happy to spend that kind of money on an Xbox. And so then I met Tattoo, aka Dan, aka the mkluver. Yeah, and you know, him, and Tim from St. Louis. It was a ritual for us to get on Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 every day at a scheduled time when we all got off work. Luckily, we had morning jobs and stuff like that. And we would sit there and talk over the mic and play Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 with some of our friends and them in the same room for hours. These were matches that you didn't care if you lost. You laughed because it was so much fun, even though you got your butt kicked. You know, no one did anything stupid. No one was a jerk. You know, people in general, they in my opinion, they treat gaming better than they do nowadays. People get pissed off. They don't think with their heads. They just act like fools, and they think it's okay because no one can do anything about them because they're on the other side of a freaking TV screen, you know. But unfortunately now it sucks. Back then people had a little bit more respect, and you know, so the three of us would play, you know, so much. I mean, till your hands hurt, you know, and you got to get some ice on there and then go back to playing again. But you know, it was so awesome to the point that, I mean, this right here is hardcore fans right here. Dan and me became very good friends, and you know, and me and Tim, we even at one point exchanged a small token of appreciation. You know, he sent me the whole entire MK Conquest TNT series, you know, and I had a collector's item Liu Kang and Kung Lao action figures still in the original packages that I sent to him. And you know, that's how much of fans we are. Some people say, oh, I would have kept that, it's worth some money. Back then we didn't really think about it that much. But yeah, Dan actually is from Connecticut and I'm in Georgia, so you know that is a very long drive. Him and his brother came down just so they could check out the beach and play Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, MK2, and Mortal Kombat Trilogy. I mean, come on, y'all. They drove over 20 hours to play games made 10 years ago. That's how much this game influences people, and how much they love this game. I mean, if I wasn't in the condition that I'm in with my legs, I would drive to Connecticut, save him a trip. You know, I would, yeah, I can't do that though. There's no possible way. And some of my friends in Georgia haven't even came down here to see me yet. Some of them have from my wedding reception, you know, and some of them just don't have the time. You know, and that's okay. But to have Dan come all the way down here, that was like the coolest thing ever. I mean, it was like, you're going to drive all that way, you and your brother, and they're going to do it again soon, you know, and they're going to do it again soon, and let me know when they're coming down, because I'm going to be recording everything, which I wish I had last time they were here. I wish I had thought about getting a camcorder, because these matches, they're going to be pay-per-view, folks. I mean, I'm going to start charging $2.99 per video to watch these. Me and Dan, in my opinion, in this game, we are equal. There is no, I mean, I may have a little bit more online experience, but when it comes to the game, you don't test Dan. He will mess you up. And, you know, some of my friends said they're not going to get the game. You know, the people I've grown up with Mortal Kombat, they've moved on, they're doing more important things with their lives. You know, they don't have time for gaming, I understand that. And some of my friends don't want to get the game because it's too much like Tekken. They literally said, I've played it, it's too much like frickin' Tekken, I don't want anything to do with it. I'm trying to talk the final 3 people into doing this, because this game is worth $59.99. That comes with the online pass. I mean, it really is. If you noticed in my timeline, I skipped 4 games. Mortal Kombat Deception, Deadly Alliance, MK vs. DC, and Armageddon. And you notice they're not in order either. I will be 100% honest with you folks. The only one that actually was even half decent was Deception, and that's because of Puzzle and Conquest. I mean, I absolutely hated Armageddon. I hated Deadly Alliance. And MK vs. DC was just an embarrassment to everybody. I mean, some people will argue the fact, and that's your opinion, you know, no problem. I respect everyone's opinion as long as it's respectful. You know, and MK vs. DC, I can't believe I bought it for a second time. I just thought I'd give it another chance. It's sat there ever since I spent 19 bucks on it. Tekken 6 plays wonderfully, and today I also did my first video for Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition. Had a blast. You know, I was playing it, and I said, dang, what am I going to name this video? And, you know, I thought about repopping the cherry, but, you know, because I have not touched Super Street Fighter 4 in any fashion in a ridiculous amount of time. I mean, it's been forever. I forgot how to throw. I forgot how to do supers. I forgot, you know, about the parries. I forgot about the holding both triggers, and it does like a little stunning attack. I forgot all about that stuff, you know, until I played it for a little while after I stopped recording, you know. But golly, I mean, it's insane, you know what I mean? And I really am glad I got, you know, MK in my life. It's been throughout my whole life since I've been a gamer, except for my original Nintendo, you know. Then it was all about Mike Tyson's Punch-Out and Zelda. But when Mortal Kombat stepped in, I knew that was going to be a game for life for me. Game for life for me means I will buy every game just to support the cause, even if I don't like it. If I don't like it, I'll go trade it in at GameStop. You know, but I will purchase the game. I will play it. I'll critique it. I'll see if I like it. Deception had 100% combos over and over and over again. If you want to try one, here's an example. If you have the game, all you have to do is pick Noob Smoke. I'm going to let him win so I have a little bit more talk time. You know, like, all you have to do is pick Robot Smoke, or, you know, tag out. And whenever, all you have to do is throw him. You throw him one time. When you throw him, he puts the knee into the face. When he puts the knee into the face, that makes you drowsy. So you step back one time, and then you sidestep. And when you sidestep, you'll be able to jump kick. When you jump kick, it will then stun the opponent. When you stun the opponent, walk up to him and throw him. It will then knee him in the face. Repeat the process from step 1, 100% combo. Alright, same thing with Bo Raicho. He had a simple move. I think it was just forward and triangle. That'd be 2 for Xbox people. And it would do a stick-stick. Now, if you landed that stick-stick, you could immediately get a free throw every time. But the cool thing about Bo Raicho's throw is that it bounces you up. So once he bounces you up, stick, stick, throw again. Stick, stick, throw, stick, stick, throw, stick, stick, throw. What a piece of shit. Online was destroyed by it. My friends, we played Puzzle. We'd get drunk. We'd smoke some weed way back then. You know, and we would have a blast with Puzzle. We would play Puzzle and have so much fun, and then after we were done playing Puzzle, we'd play Trilogy or UMK3 or whatever, Super Street Fighter 2, you know, whatever we could get our hands on. And nothing, in my opinion, to me, was as great as the MK3 days. I felt like a god. And I know that may sound crazy from some of you, but it's like this Mortal Kombat. You know, I want to teach people. Back then, I was a teacher, but I didn't tell anybody. I would just keep beating you down and no mercy, you know, until you either stopped playing me or you wrote me and wanted to learn something. You know, this one, I'm openly wanting to be a teacher, you know, and do private matches. What I'd like to do is I want to get together 6 people, okay? 6 people to get into a normal King of the Hill private match with me and 6 other people. These 6 people, you have to let go of your record. You have to say, I don't care how many times I lose, I just want to learn. You can't get mad. If you get pissed off, you're not going to make it here with me. Because I want to teach people to play this game that want to learn, but they want to learn to have fun. I don't want to train someone everything that I know so then they can go to the dark side and use all the things that I've taught them plus skills and plus glitches and spamming. You know, these people that I have 2 people right now and a third as well. You know, that's 3 of the 6. You know, you've got to let go of your record. You've got to be willing to take 50 losses in a row. I will. I'll give you all your trophies. It doesn't matter to me. You can practice combos on me while you get your, you know, 10 King of the Hill, the Babality, the Flawless Victory. It doesn't matter. As long as you come into the private King of the Hill match with a positive attitude and forgetting about your record, I'll be more than happy to teach any individuals that can follow those 2 rules. Be respectful and kind, have a good time, and then the second one is to forget about your record. If you can do that, I want you to send, and if you're interested in what I'm talking about, I want you to send me a private message with your PSN ID, and I'm also going to copy it and put it on my desktop on a notepad so I have the list. It will be recorded, it will be broadcasted, and when people start to see you improve over time, you'll understand why I play the way I do. No, I'm not going to do all the combos in the world. I'm going to be doing a lot of tap kicks and defense and ducking and jumping over and dashing back and avoiding your moves, and instead of countering you, give you the opportunity to learn that, hey, if I do that move and miss, I can get pwned. You know, so instead of me pwning you, you learn that way. I love this game. Mortal Kombat will always be in my life. I respect it. Some things may be broken and I may not like it, but I'm going to do what I gotta do with what I got. I'll be honest, folks. I have a wonderful wife. I have a great marriage. But with my condition and my legs, I will never work again. It's already been in stone. It's done. 5 years lucky in a wheelchair. You want to know about that? PM me. But I'm not going to get way too personal. All I'm saying is that gaming is always going to be a part of my life. And I'm very passionate about it. I'm very confident about it. And I don't mean to come off as a jerk or a narcissist. I'm just trying to let everyone know how I feel. And I think this was the best way I could do it, by going through my history in my life with this timeline. I appreciate your time if you've actually sat through this entire video. It's not been the most exciting thing in the world. But if you've actually listened, that means something to me. And I appreciate it very much. Take care. Have a good one.